Welcome to podcast.
Do you think this will drive up the viewership count if I show some
cleavage? Two jobs there, brother.
I got it on the wrong screen than normal, and it threw me off.
All right. Well, welcome to podcast.
Cleavage. Welcome to cleavage.
There you go. I'm your host, Madison, joined by my co-host,
Michael,
and I'm John. It's good to be back. Another week. We're back to Saturdays. Oh, recording on Saturdays makes things great. Michael, tell them you're doing your other show.
Getting I'm a popular man. Getting phone calls as we start recording.
He's it's his
in demand.
His mistress is jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have that, bud. It's not a no, it's just his boss for his other,
not the boss, a coworker
from his other job. Yep. Yeah. So what is this? Episode 29.
29.
And the date today.
You said other job like this is a job where I get paid.
You do though. You do though. You know what's super valuable? Your cousin's time. You get a lot more of it than most people do. Today is Saturday, May 9th. And we're here again, back in the studio. It's nice.
Back-to-back Saturdays.
Yeah, I think in Saturdays during the summer is probably where it's at.
I think summer Saturdays are nice. I mean, it may not always work out like this, but at least for the last 2 weeks, it's worked out.
Well, I feel like we may. I think I don't know what it was because we'd have to go back and look at when episode 0 was recorded, our first little pilot episode there. But I think we've hit over a year.
Yeah, since the first episode was recorded, possibly. Yeah. Now, obviously, one episode a week would mean we hit 51 because there's an episode 0.
Right.
To have
right.
enough episodes, but we didn't. We had some delays there at times, not releasing every week.
Yeah, well, after our first 10 episodes, which was just us huddled around a single microphone,
the good old days.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm nostalgic for that broken microphone that we had. We cranked out 11 episodes. Weren't sure if we were going to release the pilot, but it kind of just flowed easy. So this has been good. We're almost halfway through the year already. That's kind of crazy.
It's been a wild 2026.
Yeah, especially for you having to deal with a kid now.
It came out a little wrong. Why don't you try again?
You get to deal with a kid.
You get to raise a child.
Oh, okay. That sounds that definitely does sound a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, anything new on the Chief front?
Yeah, Chiefs, he hit the 7 months, and the 7 months was kind of like learning the fundamentals of being a human. But I feel like the personality is starting to come along here in month 8. He loves to clap. He loves to say bye, 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 bye.
Okay.
And he loves to shake his head. I don't think he understands yes and no, but he just loves to do this. He loves to shake his head like that over and over.
Okay.
So, yeah, some personality traits are starting to come along now, I think.
Okay. And what, in your opinion, is that indicative of in adult traits? Like, what do you think the shaking the head and clapping hands? I mean, do you think he's just figuring out, how to make noise?
Yeah, the motor skills are coming along.
Okay.
Obviously I think we clap to him, so he claps back.
Okay.
Not quite sure where the shaking of the head came from, but he's smiling the entire time he does it, so I don't think he understands no. That means no universally.
It probably just feels weird. You know, if you shake your head a lot, I mean, you just did it a few seconds ago. I'm not going to do it. I got headphones on and too much hair that would just get all tangled up in the headphones. But you've got it kind of just feels weird when you do that. So maybe it's just like a sensory thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crawling around everywhere.
Ran into your mom at a family event last weekend. she just always wants to talk about Chief.
Yep.
And it's like there's nothing else that matters in this world, which is great because she used to talk about Michael like that.
Yeah.
And now she has she can change the subject, which is good.
Actually, the subject is just permanently changed, I think.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's almost like you don't exist anymore.
I'm free.
You were the thing that helped bring Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it'll be interesting. Did she say that he was starting to stand up some?
I mean, he's trying to figure that out. He definitely has not stood up on his own yet, but he's trying to inch his way. He goes from a crawling on all fours position and kind of just pushes himself up off his knees, where he's kind of doing some form of a plank. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's getting there.
Is he still his music interest still the same? Does he like it when you hum?
No, I don't really. A while back, he kind of got tired of that as, a form of calming him or putting him to sleep. Don't really try that anymore. He likes some other songs. He really, really enjoys Wifey's big solo from the last play that we did. She'll sing that to him, and he just loves that.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna get to school if
not going
he
to
goes
school.
to public school.
Yeah,
if he goes to, or okay, fine, he'll be around children in Sunday school singing show tunes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's not going to get made fun of for that.
Of course not.
Yeah. What about
he's going to grow up in like the 2040s when like it's illegal to bully. You get sent straight to jail.
Or we circle back, or we go full circle, and it's illegal not to bully. Yeah, but
then he's going to be a big kid, so you watch out if you bully him.
What about, because you were always a big fan of organized sports. What about organized sports? Like, what are you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to discourage it. I'm also not going to force him to do anything he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, but what options are there for homeschooled kids?
Oh, there's plenty of options. I mean, for one, you're going to be playing with your Parks and Recreation League, in all likelihood, of whatever town you reside in. So we'd go play rec league sports at a youth level up until he's of the high school age, when you're typically playing with your school at that point. And the state offers opportunities for children that are homeschooled to play with teams that are around them locally.
I guess I'm mistaken, or I may be mistaken, but I feel like you get a better opportunity for like scholarships and stuff if you play like at a public school, right? Don't you have more recruiters going to those games? Aren't there more like, are there recruiters that go to, the handful of games that are between homeschooled people?
There's not a homeschool team. A homeschool child is going to play with the local public or private schools.
Oh.
Yeah. There's at least not around here. I mean, other larger states with larger homeschool populations may offer homeschool-only teams, but Chiefs' opportunities would be playing with a local public or private school as a homeschool student.
Oh, what if Chief comes back and says, "I want to go to school with all my friends"?
That's sports? Possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility, and we're not going to sit there and force him not to. But
what does a homeschool graduation look like?
They have them.
Do you get the family together and then you let them walk across the front lawn?
They probably rent out some sort of venue to do it.
Okay, all right. So
maybe they just do it at somebody's house. I don't know.
So it's not like a bathrobe or something that they just walk in, except their diploma that says you did it, good job.
Hey, I wish I could have accepted my diploma in a bathrobe.
I don't know the logistics of all the homeschool.
Do you remember?
But I am excited for you to test the waters for me. I'm glad that you're having kids before I am.
Oh, to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Well, my thought has been with the current state of public education, and I would imagine that even though he works there, Teach would back me up to a certain extent. It's better at this point to go private school, and it's better to go homeschool if you know whoever's going to be teaching as that homeschool teacher is
if I'm being honest,
qualified, and I think wifey is qualified.
I have like pretty good faith in wifey's teaching abilities, right?
Except math.
But I mean, if it were like, well, it's statistically it's better if Michael, were to homeschool, then send them to private school or public school. I might argue you on that one if you were taking the lead on the education side.
You would argue that it would be better for me to teach them than to send them to public school?
No, the opposite of that.
Oh, you would argue that you think it's better. You think that it would be better for my child to go to a random public school.
It wouldn't be random. It would be your district.
Wherever I'm residing.
Yeah. How confident are you in being able to
teach?
Yeah.
I can do it.
Lesson plan. And
I would do better with my child than like if I was a teacher with a bunch of random kids.
Sure. But you have to lesson plan. You got to make sure that they understand the curriculum. I mean, how much of that stuff are you going to be learning yourself?
You're learning or refreshing as you go along, but I think I could handle myself just fine. I would not enjoy teaching history, but I'd manage. I could do fine in English, math, and science, I think.
What about like social studies?
That is history, essentially.
And that's where we're already off to not the best start. Those are definitely two different subjects.
No, throughout all of school, social studies was taught in the history curriculum or vice versa.
Okay. All right. Here.
What do you consider a social study that's not history?
It's more like laws and,
You get your law through case study, which is backed in history.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could argue that we discovered that the sun was hot, and then that's history. I mean, everything happened in the past. The first person that said 2 + 2 = 4
as a historian
was in history.
I want to teach future.
Here, I got an idea here. All right. Let's. I'm gonna quiz you on something. Okay. All right. First question.
Okay.
And this is, what are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution known as?
The Bill of Rights.
Great. Now I want to see how many of these you get.
Like I got to recite the Bill of Rights?
No, I'm going to ask you what the First Amendment is, what the Second Amendment is, and so on, and I want to see.
Okay. The First Amendment is like freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to protest.
You got it. Yeah.
I can't off the top of my head remember freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to protest. I can't remember.
Religion.
That's in the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Freedom of religion.
Religion, speech,
one other
press, assembly, and petition.
Assembly.
Yeah, you said which is protest. No.
Well, freedom to petition is protest.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What's the Second Amendment?
Right to bear arms.
Okay. All right. If you remember the third one, I'll be impressed.
So there's some of them that are like archaic at this point.
Well, they're only archaic because it's in the Bill of Rights, and that some of these things don't happen anymore, but it's because it's in law. So
what is it? Give me a hint.
I'm going to give you a hint. It has to do with soldiers, military members.
So Third Amendment has to do with military members.
Yep.
Right to is specific to the it's not military as a whole, but like the individual military member has this.
It's a restriction on military members.
I don't know.
Okay. It's restricts the quartering of soldiers in private homes. So the government can't say you have to house a soldier in
useful these days. Yeah.
Yeah. And while you say that might be archaic, it's because it's in our Constitution that's the reason why it's archaic. So it is important. All right. Fourth Amendment.
Fourth one, I feel like I should know more so than the third.
You're a big fan of the YouTube channel Audit the Audit. This one gets quoted a lot.
Fourth Amendment. Fifth Amendment is the,
Yeah, I do.
Well, okay. The Audit the Audit, if I'm remembering which channel that is, that's
the one he goes through and he audits like body cam footage.
Yeah, the people that are trying to go and like essentially trick police officers.
Well, not necessarily. He'll also audit just body cam footage and rank how people how cops behave.
The Fifth Amendment is when you're being interrogated, you have the right to remain silent. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
So Fifth Amendment is protection against self-incrimination.
Yes.
So if they can't force you to say something that will incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable search and seizure.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's go Sixth Amendment.
A hint.
Okay. It has to do with the court system.
Sixth Amendment court system. Which in a way the last two did as well.
Yes, in the sense that those are laws of the Constitution. Yes, and the court's base.
This one is specific to the court.
Correct.
Because I wouldn't consider like the right to bear arms like the fourth and the fifth. The second and the third kind of tied together.
Ensures the right to a speedy and public trial by a jury.
So if the Sixth Amendment, what's the importance of the Sixth Amendment?
And the right to confront.
It would just be slow and drawn out if it wasn't for the Sixth Amendment?
Yeah, they could just hold you.
There's definitely plenty of ways around the Sixth Amendment because there's been plenty of court cases that have still been long and drawn out.
But that's usually by a voluntary, by the defense's team. They can definitely recommend. They can say, "Hey, we want a speedy trial by jury." Now, it also is the right to confront your witnesses in criminal cases. So if somebody's accusing you of something,
okay, that's part of the Sixth. Okay.
Yeah, you have the right to face your accuser. Okay.
Are you going to do all 10?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Seventh Amendment. I'll be surprised. I don't think I would have gotten this one.
You think you've gotten all of these so far up to
I have
the
a
seventh?
degree in criminal justice, just to remind you.
But you wouldn't get this one.
I think I would have forgot this one. Yeah, this one is not nearly as popular.
What is it pertaining to?
Civil court.
I don't know.
Guarantees the right to a jury trial in a civil case.
Oh, that's pretty basic.
Yeah. All right. Eighth Amendment.
What is it pertaining to?
It is also how I'm just, I'm just going to read out. I'll say what amendment number it is. And if you have an idea, just like you could.
At this point, with getting higher in the numbers, you got to give me at least a hint of what it has to do with.
I don't know how this.
To see if I have a chance.
There's no hints that wouldn't give it away. The Eighth Amendment prohibits excessive bails, fines, and also prohibits cruel and unusual punishments.
Okay.
Yep. Ninth Amendment.
Why do I feel like the ninth has to do with like redistricting?
I don't know what this means. Listen, I'm not the one claiming that I'm equipped to teach a child. By the way,
all right, hold on. But you act as if a teacher, even the ones that do this for a living, don't have to refresh themselves on subjects. Like you think that you think that Teach has an infinite wealth of knowledge. You go ask him any question.
He teaches the same thing every year. I bet,
and he probably still has to refresh himself on things. Especially somebody that's got to teach all subjects.
We'll have to ask that to Teach.
You should do this with him. Ask him the 10 Bill of Rights.
Ninth Amendment states that the enumeration of specific rights in the Constitution does not mean other rights retained by the people do not exist.
What is that? Like you go to the genie and you say, "My third wish is to have 1,000,000 wishes."
No, it's like I guess that would be, to use your metaphor, it'd be more on the lines of, my third wish is that I never wished my second wish, and you can't do that. Basically. And then the 10th Amendment is in regards to reinforces that the states have their own like court systems. But
what about the 19th Amendment?
I'm pretty sure that was the one that like caused a lot more car accidents. But anyway,
I'm just reacting like Chief.
Oh, you're just reacting like Chief.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know if I would trust myself to be able to teach a kid right. And then you can't, like, they grow up and they're stupid. Not to say that your kid's going to be stupid.
So you think that every teacher that teaches,
every yourself.
It's not exactly true because it takes a village to raise a child. So even though you might be the one teaching them their core subjects in school, doesn't mean that they're still like all the pressure's on you. You also learn things post elementary education, post secondary education. You can be considered gifted at a young age and lose that ability over time. You can be considered a slow learner at a young age and then learn a lot more once you get to the college level.
I disagree with that. I think if you have the ability, you can lose it, yes. But then if Chief, turns out to be, he's going to be like a, like it's looking like he's going to be a genius at 8 years old, the next Einstein or whatever. And, by the time he hits, twice that age, like 16, and only thing he knows how to do is like drop shot Call of Duty stuff. That's on you. You get you gotta like hone that. You gotta like craft that to make sure that it happens right.
I mean, every circumstance is different. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's on you. A high potential not executed can be because of a multitude of factors.
Well, this is why I like the idea of hiring Teach full-time to teach my kids and saying, this is your one job. It's just these kids.
He's like, screw this, I'm going back to the school system.
Replace his current salary with just having to watch and take care of 2 kids. This guy has been trained like professionally and has years of experience to be able to make this happen, right? I would certainly trust him over myself. I just don't feel like I'm very well equipped to teach children.
You also, I mean, one interesting thing is, when you're homeschooling, you're growing as from a teaching sense with the child. Teach has taught 2nd and 3rd grade his whole career, so he's probably learned some good and bad habits for teaching that area, that specific demographic of children, and having to switch to teaching a child from the pre-K kindergarten level all the way to graduation might be more of a challenge than you'd expect. If you're only frame of reference is teaching your own child, it's going to be easier to grow with them as a teacher.
Yeah, but so you're saying you're making the argument that it'd be easier to grow with them as a teacher, but I don't see why Teach couldn't do the same thing.
Well, he's equipped to be able to redefine his teaching abilities from simply a second or third grade teacher to one that can teach all grade levels. But I'm saying he's grown accustomed to that over a decade of teaching, and he might find himself having to break some habits that are successful for that age group that aren't going to work at a middle school or high school level.
But if you're used to working with, teaching is a skill that can be adopted to different age groups, I think, pretty quickly, especially if you already know the children. Like if you've been teaching them the exact same children the whole time that they're in school, you're going to know how they best respond to learning.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to learn the kids and how to teach them most effectively. But from his own perspective, once you've gotten into the rhythm of I'm teaching these kids for a year and then they move on and I get a new crop and we're going to do the same thing that we did last year again with a new set, learn how to teach them the same material, and then we're going to move them along and rinse and repeat for so long that you get adjusted to that, and it might not just immediately come across to be able to move along with the kid through their entire span of
Here's a question I got for you.
kindergarten to 12th grade.
So I think it is safe to say that Wifey was raised kind of sheltered.
Yes.
Okay. You have a son.
Yes.
Okay. Her and her sister, only two siblings, were both women. And this might sound a little sexist, but I feel like women can get away with being sheltered a little bit better than men can. Because I do think that the world is pretty harsh on men compared to women. And there are probably more safe spaces for women where that they can find other areas where it's not going to be terrible that they were raised sheltered. Your son is going to be growing up a man in probably one of the more difficult eras in the last several hundred years of humanity. So what is your
I don't know
plan?
about difficulty compared to the last several hundred years.
I think that don't get me wrong, we got plenty of luxuries, but there's going to be people they're just not good people. The world is basically turning into let's gamble on everything. You get 1,000 scam emails every day for people that are trying to take advantage of other individuals' goodwill, right? What's your plan to expose your child to the world? Since you're running the homeschool model, how do you expose them to the world of what the day or like of to ensure that they don't that shelteredness isn't too extreme?
Well, I think for one thing, you can try to shelter the best you can, but in this day and age of rapid spread of information through the internet, you may find it more difficult to shelter than you realize. I think that it'll be a case-by-case basis of what do we want to inform Chief about and what do we need to keep under wraps until he's older and ready for needing to know. I mean, in terms of getting scammed on the internet, he probably wouldn't need to know about that until he's consistently got a device in his hand. And the goal going forward is to not be like most parents that are our generation and age and turn your kids into tablet children at a far too early age.
Well, I'll think back even to like first grade, second grade, where I learned some lessons about people that I probably wouldn't have learned if I'd been homeschooled. that most people are kind of like bad people, especially other kids.
I mean,
Like
kids
that
are definitely
to-
brats.
That exposure to other kids, like I remember my first day riding the school bus. There was a fifth grader that taught me all of the cuss words.
Taught you about the podcast.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. What to bleep on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right. I imagine that you and wifey.
He taught you well because I've only had to bleep you so far.
That's for cuss words. Yes.
Yeah.
You've dropped.
No, I had to bleep myself for dropping names and and stuff like that, but not for a cuss word yet.
Yeah. Well, your workplace is a media environment. I'm good if I can get away with a couple of hours without cussing. But I don't imagine that you guys are going to be talking as quite as crude as the majority of other kids are, even those that you'll probably find in like Sunday school. It's going to be interesting that you're going to raise your kid to be a good kid, to be nice, not to lie, and for him to then assume that other kids are going to be raised the same way, and it's going to be a harsh reality when he finds out that most people don't honor those virtues and values.
It's just about surrounding yourself and trying to find the people that do. You're not always going to get that right, but you're going to try to.
But I think what you're going to find is it's going to be more of a struggle to find those people.
You just got to go to the environments that are likely to be hotbeds for those types of people. Church is probably the first place to start.
Church is a good one, yeah. But once you get out into the real world, where do you're not going to find those people at your first job. You're not going to find those people in a college environment.
It's something that you do. I mean, I grew up in public school. I was sheltered to a certain extent, but I also had plenty of real life experience as I got older, and I'm still astonished by what people do on a day-to-day basis.
Sure.
I don't know if it'll ever go away. People can be good. People can also make really dumb, boneheaded decisions that only have their own self-interest at heart. And it can still shock me at times to this day. And I don't know if that'll ever change. I'm always amazed by what somebody else is thinking is a good idea when it seems like it's common sense that it's not.
You know what I think?
And I'm okay with Shepard having that same opinion of hoping that people do good and being somewhat surprised at times when people don't.
You know what I think is the best way to do this?
What?
Minecraft.
Minecraft breaks a kid in?
Yeah. I think you can learn a lot of valuable
It
lessons
seems
on
like
Minecraft.
Roblox is the better one to pick these days.
Oh, well, that will definitely unshelter your kid very quickly.
If you want to teach them that people can be bad at times.
I think that you learn a lot of valuable lessons in Minecraft, and that you have to work to get the supplies that you need to build, right? For one, I think it instills a little bit of a work ethic. The second thing I think is that sometimes stuff happens and it sucks. You'll be mining you'll be down in the mines and you'll have 12 diamonds in your inventory, and then you accidentally fall into lava. It's a very safe way to experience an extreme amount of emotional turmoil.
And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. Or a creeper comes and blows up your house. But the thing is, you can't just tell your kid these things don't exist in the world. We don't live in the Garden of Eden.
You tell them you won't literally have a creeper come up and blow your house up or fall into lava, but you'll have events that feel similar, that expend the same emotional distress.
Well, you don't even have to explain that to them. If they experience, there's truly not a way to just experience that, to explain that feeling without first experiencing it. So I think those shocks to your emotions are very healthy to experience as you're growing up. I had something, and I had experiences like that too when I was in school. I remember this one kid, I'm not going to name drop. Uh, I'm still a little, I hold a little resentment about this, but I'd gotten really into airsoft guns, right? And I'm like, and I wasn't, and then I guess I went through a time where it's like, I don't want to play with these anymore. And a kid said, "Oh, I will buy those from you for $40. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm not playing with them. You're going to have fun. I go over to the kid's house with the guns, the airsoft guns, they're toy guns. And he gives me 40 quarters. Now, if I'm not mistaken, 40 quarters
It's $10.
not
It's $10.
$40. And I knew that. And he said, I'll get you the rest later. Dude still owes me $30.
Yeah, I had a similar thing happen. I sold a video game to a guy in high school, and he said he was going to pay me the first half. After he was going to pay me the first half when I gave him the game. He's going to pay me the second half after he went home and made sure it worked. Got the first half, never got the second half.
Yep.
And the lesson I learned that day is at least I got the first half.
Yeah, but you just take it, and that's part of that sheltered mindset, right? About being around people.
You expect that everybody's going to do.
You expect that people are going to
stick
honor
to their
word.
Yeah,
right. And there has to be something like that. You have to have those little lessons in life so that you just don't get out into the real world, and just get taken advantage of. And I just think you run into more opportunities to learn those life lessons in a public school environment. And so I'm curious how you're planning to somewhat replicate that.
I think that one great place for him would be organized sports. You're going to get a lot of the kids in public schools doing that type of thing, potentially in locker room settings and stuff like that. Not having to go to school and having the detriment of the public education system trying to teach you and rear you, but at the same time you get a little sample of it.
I'm kind of concerned that he'll get into organized sports and he won't know how to speak the same language as the kids that he's playing with, because
there's no telling how. I mean, so
they're going to be talking TikTok.
He's Gen Beta.
Yeah, they'll be talking in TikTok brain rot.
So it might be something completely different for them.
Oh, it'll be different.
That's Gen Alpha.
It'll be different from Gen Alpha, and it'll be even more different for Gen Beta.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee that Gen Betas won't be something that's resembling a little bit more substance.
I think there's a safe assumption to be made that
there's no telling what may happen with technology in the next 10 years.
That it will be worse than Gen Beta. I mean, than Gen Alpha. I think there's a safe assumption to be made there. And so they'll be like, they'll just be saying things to him. He's like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know some of this Gen Beta lingo, but I'm hearing new things pop up that I don't know what they mean.
Like what?
Clock it. I don't know what that means.
Clock it?
Yeah.
Like you're clocking in to work?
No, it's not like that.
Like you're punching something?
It's a thing that I guess I see it on TikToks of millennials making fun of Gen Alpha.
What does it mean?
I don't know. That's what I'm telling you.
Let's look it up.
More stuff. All right, yeah, look it up.
Clock it, Gen Alpha slang.
And then they do this thing with their fingers, where they go like this. Look at me. They go like this, like clock
like
it.
This.
Yeah,
I probably just threw some gang sign up. I don't mean to. Clock
That's okay.
it. Clock it is a modern slang meaning to notice, recognize, or call out a hidden, subtle, or obvious truth, often with a hint of sass. Clock it is this generation's version of duh or busted.
Duh or busted? I don't think that's...
I
don't even know if I could trust Wikipedia on that one.
So when your kid hits you with a perfectly timed clock it, just take it as a sign that they're reading the room. Duh. Clock it.
Yeah, but you guys are going to be talking in English.
Clock it.
You're going to be raising your kid in English. and they're gonna not know how. Then they may not even relate to other kids because the brain rot could be so deep that they don't even know. That like they can't even understand it. It's like these people don't have emotions. They're always tied to their phones. I just think it's going to be. And you tell me that this isn't one of the.
We're not the first parents
harder
that'll have to deal with it.
I know. But you tell me this isn't one of the harder generations to grow up in.
I'm sure the golden generation heard their boomer children or even some Gen X children / grandchildren saying some crazy stuff that they thought they were going to hell in a handbasket for ever saying such a thing. It's the generational divide that'll always exist.
But I think it's just evolving at a faster rate than it used to. I think today's language is evolving faster.
They have more access to it.
Any previous generation stuff.
You had to learn the new slang by pigeon carrier back in the day. Now you just Google it, and AI gives you probably a butchered version of it, and then you just start speaking it.
A newspaper article tailored to the greatest generation, saying, "This is what groovy means." You know, yeah. I like it. I worry about him growing up, but I don't know. And how are you going to teach him? You got to get him. We've had this conversation before, but retro video games. Make him play video games that are challenging, and he will die over and over again until he gets it right.
Retro video games for him will be like the PS5.
No, I'm saying you get him set up with like SNES era games. Let him play some Donkey Kong Country. Let him play some Super Mario Brothers. Where
he's gonna play Super Meat Boy and QWOP.
God, you're gonna force him to play QWOP?
Yeah.
Oh, Super Meat Boy is not a bad example of what I'm talking about, but good grief, QWOP, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teach him the most useless like skill and take up part of that, like a nice chunk of brain cells to learn how to do something that is going to be completely useless.
He's going to 100% Super Meat Boy. He's going to get to the point where he's the fastest in the world in QWOP. And then after he gets to that, then I'm going to let him 1v1 beyond with BRs on Octagon in Halo 3.
You're going to make him play Halo with you? Halo 3?
You said retro.
That's not. No.
Yeah, that's retro, all right.
No.
Yeah, it is.
What is
this 20 years ago?
What's the definition of retro?
Retroactive is the full term.
I don't think
past the point of it being active, when that is in the distant past.
I'm going to Google it. I'm Googling it.
Halo 3, 2, and 1 are all definitely retro video games at this point. Just because they have a remaster doesn't mean they're not retro in their original states.
Okay. All right.
So you would agree Halo 3 is retro?
It will be next year. 20 years or older.
And by the time he's playing, it'll be way
That's true.
Past 20 years.
That's true.
Makes you feel old. Halo 1 will be 30. What in?
You got this, math. I believe in you.
I'm trying to remember when Halo 1 came out. Halo 1 came out in 2001, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like 5 years.
Yep.
Because this is the 25-year anniversary.
Well, let's not act like both of us were like sitting there waiting on Halo 1's release.
Well, I wasn't sitting there, but I played it the year it came out.
That's not true.
I played it at a birthday party.
Okay. All right. Well,
I didn't own it.
I didn't own it. Yeah, because I don't think you got an Xbox until like 2003, maybe.
Don't remember if I got it in 2002 or 2003.
I remember playing mostly PlayStation until you got an Xbox, and then when you got an Xbox, like, oh. Then you had Xbox Live before me. Man.
Play some Battlefront.
Changed my life.
That's where you learn all the things that public school kids will do. Just go in a Halo 3 or a Modern Warfare 2 lobby and just, you don't have to say a word, just listen.
It'd be so cool to have like just a little gap like this big of a time portal I could plug into a router, and then shove an Ethernet cable through and plug into a router back in like 2004, set up an original Xbox and just get back into those lobbies where everybody was telling me things that I wasn't supposed to know at that age. I learned a lot from those Halo lobbies. That helped prepare me for the world for sure. But you know what school was back then? Everybody was just like broing out, you know. Nowadays it's like a lot of creepy people. I mean, at least that's what the news. Oh, dude,
listen to the news?
I was about to say, am I being a boomer right now? Because that's what the news will tell me is that everybody's creepy.
The news,
and now it's
all the creeps online. That like, dude, I still play games semi regularly, and I never once had like a single instance of some dude getting on the end of the mic. Hey, how old are you? Or like, I've never heard that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm also imagining you don't play games that kids are on either.
It's video games.
I guess there's
kids are on all of them.
Probably kids playing Rocket League and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, kids are on the M-rated games they're not even supposed to be on. Like, kids are on video games. What I have to remind myself when I'm playing a competitive shooter and my teammate or the other person I'm playing against makes some sort of brain dead play, I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably like a 12-year-old whose brain isn't developed.
No, dude, they're probably just bad at the game. The 12-year-olds are outplaying you, dude. The 12-year-olds are the ones that don't have to go to work. They're the ones that like are in class doodling like how to take which lane in League of Legends to make like strategic plays. Like the 12-year-olds are
not in America, maybe in like Korea.
No. We were 12 playing Halo, and I mean, yeah, we probably didn't peak until like 14, 15, but I would wholeheartedly assume that a 12-year-old would kick my butt in Fortnite right now.
I don't. Just because they have more reflexes doesn't mean they have the processing power in their brain to come up with a smarter play in that moment. Like you just think harder.
Well, but they're going to know the environment better than I will. They're going to know the ins and outs of the game better because you spend more time in the environment.
If you play against a kid that you're playing in a game you practically never play, sure. But if you've played any iota of time on that game, you should be able to handle yourself.
I mean, do I think if I jumped into a Halo 2 lobby and I was playing against a 12-year-old, yeah, I think I'd probably be able to
you should be fine.
Yeah, but I don't think the same could be said about a Halo Infinite lobby.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends upon how much. If you've played any amount of the game, even at your slowed down reflexes state, you should be able to outsmart a 12-year-old kid.
I mean, it depends on what kind of game it is.
Unless the game is so shallow, there's not any strategy involved.
Isn't that all games today?
No, not some games are. I mean, definitely. I mean, if you're playing like Fall Guys or something or Among Us,
there's probably more strategy in Among Us than there is in Call of Duty.
No, and I'm not even a Call of Duty fan.
There's a lot of strategy in Among Us.
So with Call of Duty, you can always have technical skill can win out in certain situations. With all the different sight lines you can use, equipment you can use, armor abilities or whatever Call of Duty's got, whichever iteration you're playing, you can definitely outplay someone with intelligence.
All right, you need to look up some professional Among Us gameplay.
I don't think there is a professional Among Us league. There is a professional Call of Duty league.
Well, there are people that take it to the point of it is their profession. That's serious.
By the way, most of professionals at the Call of Duty level are between the ages of 25 and 32.
I believe that, but they grew up playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say if you took that Call of Duty pro and put him in a game that they didn't know they could beat a 12-year-old that'd been playing it for a year?
I don't know. I think there's some translation, sure. But if you put a professional Call of Duty player that's never played Fortnite up against a 13, 14-year-old who's been playing Fortnite since he was 7, I think
if he's been playing since he's 7 and that's all he's been playing,
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
But that's how it goes, dude. Those are the games they've been playing.
Most of the kids playing games are casual. They're casual. They're playing a bunch of different games. They're not just playing one game.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, there are some that.
What game did you play?
I played a multitude of games. I didn't just sit there and play Halo all the time.
That happened when Halo Reach came out. You diversified, but there were
even Halo 3. I played a lot of Halo 3. Don't get me wrong, but I played a lot of college football, especially during the fall. I played a lot of single-player games such as Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect.
Okay, but these are single-player games and a sports game that are completely different category.
But they still take up your time either way.
But you weren't playing other first-person shooters.
I played a little bit of COD.
I mean, everybody played a little bit of COD. But I mean, the amount of COD you played compared to
Battlefield.
But how many years worth of your life did you put into like learning Halo and like that was more of like that was the go-to.
I started playing MLG Halo 3 in 2008.
Okay.
And I played MLG pretty much until I went to college. So 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011.
Okay. But here's the difference, right? Because we started, I mean, I guess you got more involved in Halo 3. I definitely played a lot more Halo 2. You played a little bit of Halo 2, but I don't think you started like getting competitively focused. But the difference between us and the other and the kids today, right, is Halo 2, and then when the new Halo came out, Halo 3, completely different game from Halo 2. And then after Halo 3 was Halo Reach, where the whole community would migrate to this new game with different mechanics, slightly similar mechanics, but slightly different. Kids that have been playing Fortnite have been playing Fortnite the whole time. They have not had to relearn.
Switch games more than they used to. I think there are kids these days are very willing to try the hot new game that came out for a month and then go back to the game they were playing and then try the next hot one that came out. Like the communities in these games are not as hardcore about them as they used to be. Now people jump around to different games and try more things.
I think we're both speculating here because I can't say that for certain on you, but I just think about where I would have been if I was a kid today, and I'd probably just be stuck playing Fortnite all day, going into playing like 15 games a day. Probably as soon as I got home from school, telling my parents.
Branch out. You play other stuff.
I don't know, dude. I would want to play the game that was the most, like that I could get the most social enjoyment out of, and it would be.
Do you play Roblox?
No, and would have like a little bit of a competitive side to it.
Roblox has competitive.
I've looked at
Roblox has a Halo mod.
I've looked at Roblox. I've never played it. I've looked into it. That game is just strange, and it's more of a platform than it is a game. It's almost like Steam. It's like its own platform where you like download and play community built games. But with I think that it's back to the original argument. I think that if I sat down in just a random popular game today, I was playing, and I jumped on and I played against a 13, 14-year-old that plays that game regularly, I'm going to get my butt kicked.
Yeah, if you just jump into a game you haven't been playing at all.
Well,
but
that's
if you play
every game for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I still play games a little bit. So I feel like if I'm going up against a 12-year-old in that game, I'm all right. I can handle myself. I play the game decently enough, consistently enough. At least the games that I play. I don't play a lot of games, but I got a handful that I hop on still every now and then. Like if I'm going up against a 12-year-old in the finals or Rocket League or even Halo to a certain extent still, even though it's hard to get games on MCC.
You just MCC, not even Infinite.
No, I hadn't touched Infinite in a long time.
Yeah.
I think I'm winning. I'm backing myself against the 12-year-old.
You see some of these Bungie leaks? Not Bungie leaks, Halo leaks.
I don't think so, no.
So basically, they accidentally leaked that after the Halo 1 launch, they're planning on building a Halo 2, Halo 3 remake as well.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Campaign only?
Wasn't part of the leak. I'm wondering if that's kind of the assumption. Maybe the goal is this: Halo 2 remake, Halo 3 remake, and then they get all the Sony players locked in, and then they re-release Master Chief Collection remastered.
Master Chief recollected.
Oh god, can you imagine? Oh, dude. A remastered version of Master Chief Collection.
I would hope Collections comes to claim Halo Studios at that point if they do that.
Oh, did you see how much money Bungie lost Sony on Marathon?
Yeah, it was. Here's the thing. I liked the premise of Marathon when I heard about it, but then I saw the gameplay initially back in alpha or beta, and I'm like, this is a Destiny skin. Except it's not even as fun as Destiny. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
And it never changed from that. It never changed.
Sony wrote off $737 million off of their one title that Bungie owned.
So I wonder, is Sony's just going to drop Bungie after that?
I don't know.
It'd be best for Bungie.
Is Destiny still bringing any money in?
Yeah, maybe, but at the same time, and that's only probably because they've piled all their resources into Marathon, so they weren't spending a lot of money to keep Destiny going, so it may have made them money in the end based on that, but I think their plan was to kind of ditch Destiny now that Marathon was about to be the live service game for them.
Yeah, dude. I think big game studios are going to collapse. I don't think we're going to have too many left soon enough.
The problem with a big AAA game studio is you got so many employees, and what's the likelihood that all of these employees are going to have the same passion for whatever they're creating? What's the likelihood of that?
Well, it depends on how they were hired. Were they hired because they wanted people that were fans of the game, or did they hire because they wanted people that were definitely not fans of the game, and so that they could change it up?
Yeah, definitely not. If they're,
Yeah.
We know that happened with Halo, which obviously is a no-go. But even if you're hiring people under the right pretense of, you have a passion for this game, what's still the likelihood with such a large studio and so many moving pieces that everybody's going to be happy about the state of the game and the direction it's going at all times, especially not just in the pre-production, but after it launches and it gets into this live service state that every major game is going to have at this point, especially a AAA game. What's the it's less than 0%.
Well,
it's guaranteed to not be a thing. So you're going to, and the problem with video games is it's supposed to be a passion project that happens to make money. That's how it started originally. Now it's turned into big business, and that's why every single AAA game these days is failing, is because the people that are creating it don't have a passion for what they're making. It ends up being a bad product as a result.
Well, we got a couple of things that are changing, and I think it's going to be a new rebirth of video games. Did you see that Valve released their engine, the Valve engine that I can't remember the name of,
to compete with Unreal?
To compete with Unreal and some of the other ones, and they're releasing it for free.
Oh.
You don't have to license it. You don't have to do any of this other stuff. So Valve coming across as by far the most the best large company that is advocating for the development and like the future of video games. The next thing that's going to happen is AI is going to allow for smaller studios to once again compete with the big players, because they'll be able to delegate a lot of the work that goes involved into, and it gets, into making graphics and things. So little studios of 10 people are going to be able to crank out really, really nice games, similar to Bungie back in the day, right? Creating Halo.
And I mean, you still see it on occasion. I mean, some of the best games as of late are still small studio projects. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 was like game of the year across all platforms, pretty much. Small studio out of France. Looked great, played great.
Well, you can.
I don't know how much they used AI for that, but
go back and look at Mojang. Mojang started this group of like 6 dudes.
Yeah,
made the largest video game for like in history of video games.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're.
I don't know. This is a perfect segue to our outro.
You mean where we sign off and then the outro plays?
Yeah, but here's the thing: like, we started this talking about like your main point was wanting to talk about how we're going to be rearing Chief, and by the end of it, we were talking about like AAA game studios not making the cut these days.
That is very true.
And now we got our outro that we're about to play. If we're about to wrap things up, that will explain how we got there.
I mean, we played the full song last time, but we did clip the last bit. So this is going to be our new outro, and that'll be I guess that'll be all for episode 29. Thank you guys for joining us on today, May 9th. I'm also predicting, I got one more thing I want to say.
Okay.
I'm predicting that GTA 7 is going to fall way, way short, and everybody's going to hate it, and then Rockstar is going to lose all their money and be done.
Wild prediction. What happens with GTA 6?
Oh, that's what I meant. Did I say 7? Okay, GTA 6 is going to fall short. And it's going to be, we're going to have another Bethesda situation with Fallout 76.
I got a prediction. We have aliens before GTA 7.
We have aliens before GTA 7.
Aliens before GTA 7.
Oh, we'll have to touch on that one next week. But a couple weeks back, I made a prediction that this alien stuff was going to come out, and bro, I was so on it. How about that? Sometimes I think I've got a little bit of a I can see things in the future.
Your head's getting so big right now; it's glowing like the little green men.
No, the more like the gray ones. Those are the ones that have telepathic powers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
And by the way, before I play the outro, I'm just going to mention that I don't know really what to do during the outro, so it's going to be like Ricky Bobby.
I've already got it.
You do?
Well, if you'll turn it up.
Hold on, let me do it the right way, because this is what you played. Do you think this will drive up the viewership count if I show some cleavage? This is our new outro.
We had a plan for this episode.
That's good stuff.
I think we did not follow it. All right. See y'all next week.